How to escape extremism and find a shortcut to empathy. I call this MBM tool the 30-letter empathy equation. So first off, why start a virtual men's group? For me, it came down to long reflections on where my skills were more needed. I love film and TV, but someone who looks like me and thinks like me is no longer needed in that space. My brain is about as needed as a bowl of vomit cooking in a microwave in a studio apartment with no AC. Calm, resilient, stoic dad energy makes for a good mentor or coach, not a good movie. Fucked up people make the best movies. But fighting this matrix of hate is where I'm more needed. Creating a line of defense for men so they don't fall into the trap of becoming incels or zealots or simps. When men lack empathy and start organizing around that common ground, shit can get very, very bad very, very quickly. So let me lay it out for you. Think of an arcade, right? Think of those classic coin pushers. You know, the ones where you drop a coin down the slot ramp and the goal is to drop it in a place where it tips a bunch of other coins over the edge. Now imagine that tray of coins as every single internet post and user and social media platform. It's all a giant interconnected social network where all the coins are touching. Picture that line of coins dangling over the edge and imagine every one of those as a young man who is struggling to find his identity in a rapidly changing world. These are young guys who are raised on good guy, bad guy, big tit machine gun movies, and now they are trying to comprehend a whole new world that we live in with all new rules, values, and structures. But most of them are trying to stay on the top shelf with their coin peers, but just a simple nudge from any direction will send them falling into the darkness below. Others have been hanging on for so long that they actually want to get shoved off that coin cliff. It's too hard to keep hanging on, and they'd rather feel the thrill of a free fall, just to feel something different, to let something or someone else be in charge of their struggle. Now picture millions of new coins dropping into that tray every day. Could be billions. Every one of those coins is a lib tears, toxic masculinity, smash the patriarchy post. People feeding the coin pushing machine of hate with a different version of the same tirade. If only those people were more like us, none of this would be happening. People have been engineered to post and think this way because the engagement algorithm rewards polarizing content. The world is an incomprehensible web of emotions, economics, and ecosystems, but it is a lot easier to understand when you shove it all into the drama triangle. I am the victim. Those are the villains. They are my heroes. We all do it. Every single one of us constructs these pyramids. The news networks mastered it, and the social media platforms spread it like a virus. If your group gets labeled as the villains, you embrace the victim position, and you unify the other victims, whipping them into a frenzy until a hero rises from the ranks to save you. The drama triangle is the framework for every political and cultural debate online. We just keep feeding angry coins into this machine, and then we're shocked when someone snaps, falls, or swaps sides. We all think we're doing the right thing, raising awareness around certain issues, but we forget Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When those coins get dropped onto the coin tray, there is an equal and opposite energetic reaction. Your coins push against each other, shifting their position slightly, and it creates a ripple effect that can tip people over the edge. People you don't even know. Lots of men stop clinging on to the coins around them, and they choose to fall into the abyss, willingly or unwillingly. We give in to anger and despair. Anger is not complex or nuanced like the real world. It offers a very clear and easy to understand worldview. You have been wronged, and those are your enemies. Someone has to save us. And those coins tip over the ledge. They land with a thud, separated from the group. Now they are all alone, isolated, and probably scared. But unlike an arcade, the hand that tipped them off is not the same hand that scoops them up. Nope, someone else swoops in. A conspiracy theorist, a crypto Lambo alpha bro, a golden age nostalgia-based extremist, a dark web chat group full of accelerationists, the firm grip of addiction, or a never-ending diet of Red Dead Redemption 2 and roundtable pizza delivered on Grubhub. The list of coping mechanisms in this age is endless, and most of them are not good. When men fall or stumble or struggle or let their self-worth guard down, there is a golden corral, all-you-can-eat buffet of extremism options waiting to scoop them up. We are in a cosmic war between extremism and empathy. people who are creating these platforms don't care who wins. They just want you to keep shoving coins into the hate machine. And we all have to be much more intentional about the coins we're dropping in there. I'm not saying that men should not be critiqued or that we should avoid this let's be better discourse, but people need to know their words, actions, and posts are more powerful than they think. It's all interconnected. We all have to take some accountability for the men and women falling over the edge right now. Warlike language from any point of view creates more allies and more enemies. Equal and opposite reaction. One day you might get a new follower, an equal, and the next day it might motivate someone else to become your opposite, your enemy. Every time I've dabbled with a more extremist political worldview, I can trace it back to an angry internet post from someone attacking someone who probably looks like me. Holy shit, if they feel this way about people like me and got all this validation and likes, I probably need to find other people like me, just in case this gets worse for whatever reason. That toxic emotional equation sums up most of the posts for the last 7 years. And if you study history, this was the tipping point for our Civil War, not the events themselves, but hot takes from each side of the conflict. Northern newspapers posting Southern reactions to polarizing events to incite and unify the readers, and Southern newspapers posting Northern reactions to polarizing events to incite and unify their readers. This was all covered extensively in Rebel Yell by S.C. Gwynn, who wrote the awesome Comanche book as well. But these are manufactured drama triangles from the news that are birthing real-life extremism. Same shit, different century. So how do you as a man beat the siren song of extremism? Odysseus stuffed beeswax in his ears and tied himself to the mast of the ship, and avoiding all social media and news and tying your hands to your desk chair is not really sustainable. If you're like us at MBM, you don't want other men to fall into the dark abyss of bad alliances and toxic worldviews. So how the fuck do we stop this spreading infection of extremism? We can't ask for a ceasefire to build a stronger barrier on the edge of this coin shelf. Tons of us are addicted to the dopamine feedback loop of dropping hate coins into the machine and getting our daily dose of hero victim likes. That shit ain't stopping anytime soon. Nope. There is only one all-powerful, magical, alchemical equation that can stop the pull of extremism and redirect you to a path of empathy. You ready for it? Here's the 30-letter empathy equation. 30 letters, all you need. Anytime you cross a polarizing post, a hot take that starts taking up too much mental real estate, I want you to say this statement in your head. I would do as you would do if I were you. Got it? I would do as you would do if I were you. So before you fire off an angry comment to that post or craft a perfect rebuttal in your head that's letting the matrix of hate win, force your brain to make those connections. Put in the effort to understand the real human behind those unregulated emotions that led to a hot take. How do you think they got there to that statement? Try your very fucking hardest to see how they could have arrived at that conclusion. I promise you that integrating this simple statement will change your life. This shifts you from victim consciousness that keeps creating highly infectious drama triangles to observer consciousness. That is the goal. A toxic person just offered you a role in their drama triangle, but you don't have to take it. You can pass on that role. You don't have to get cast as their hero, as their villain, or as their fellow victim. Because you start with, I would do as you would do if I were you. Then that turns into, well, that post is not for me, but I see how you got there. Instead of a toxic narrative taking up space in your brain and inviting you to compete in the hate Olympics, you're just left with an endless reserve of curiosity. Curiosity that leads to empathy. Learning how to be empathetic is not a sign of weakness. It is self-defense, emotional self-defense. It shows that you have control over the real estate in your brain. You can hear or read anything and it won't affect your self-worth because that shit is insourced, not outsourced or crowdsourced. But setting up insourced infrastructure takes time and a lot of work and coaching. This is why we need more men's groups and third spaces for men. Men outsourcing their identity leads to them getting roped right into the extremism game. But if we apply the I would do as you would do statement to all extremists, you'll arrive at the conclusion they are just extremely scared and highly sensitive people who don't want to admit that they are broken, so they blame a broken world instead. Men need places where they can discuss what they are seeing online and feeling inside before they get swooped up by someone who will keep them in their pocket forever. If you want to read more about the victim to observer consciousness path, check out Guiding Principles for Life Beyond the Victim Consciousness by Lynn Forrest. All right, that's all I got for today. Boom.